Jacksonville made the biggest trade in this year's draft, leapfrogging up the board to the number 2 overall pick. And now the player they selected, Travis Hunter, is trying to make his own big move by becoming the first two-way NFL player since his former college head coach, Deion Sanders.
Off the left, looking for Sanders. Touchdown, Deion Sanders.
Hey Travis, this is James Gladstone with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're moving from pick 5 to pick 2 because you're the one we've been hunting up.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision.
The NFL has never seen anything quite like Travis Hunter. Not in this generation, not in this era of hyper-specialized football. In a league where most players are locked into a single position, Travis Hunter is an outlier, a rare two-way threat who can line up at cornerback, lock down your best receiver, then flip the field, line up as a wideout, and make the game's biggest play on the next drive. That's not just talent, that's transformation. And now he's landed in Jacksonville, a franchise on the rise, hungry for identity, and desperate to break out of the cycle of maybe next year. The Jaguars didn't just draft a player, they made a bet on history. They gave themselves a weapon who could tilt the balance of a game on either side of the ball. This isn't just a rookie debut. This could be the beginning of one of the most historic rookie campaigns in modern NFL memory. Travis Hunter is about to become the most talked about player in football, and here's why. Chapter 1, The Unicorn Effect, a two-way star in a one-way league. Football isn't supposed to work like this anymore. Not in 2025. Not in an era where even fullbacks are extinct and specialization has replaced instinct. Not in a league where players train their entire lives to master one role, one side of the ball, one identity. But then there's Travis Hunter, an anomaly, a throwback, a visionary. He is the glitch in the matrix, the kind of player who shouldn't exist in this system, and yet thrives in it. Bending its rules, stretching its logic. On defense, he's surgical. At Colorado, he moved with the smoothness of silk and the violence of a trap snapping shut. He didn't just blanket receivers, he mirrored them, became them, and then beat them to their own destination. He baited quarterbacks like a veteran corner, jumped routes that weren't even in the scouting report, and when the ball came his way, he attacked it like it insulted his family. But flip the script, put him on offense, and it's like watching a different player entirely. A receiver who glides through coverages like wind through a broken door. His body control is absurd. He contorts in midair like a gymnast, adjusts to impossible throws, and lands with the grace of someone who belongs in a ballet studio, not a football field. He doesn't just run routes, he paints them. His cuts aren't sharp, they're violent, sudden, and defenders often end up grabbing grass instead of jerseys. He's not a corner dabbling at wide receiver. He's a legitimate wide receiver 2 with wide receiver 1 upside. And the fact that he can also be your best defender, that's not just versatility, that's weaponized brilliance. This is what CBS Sports meant when they called him one of the most valuable rookie picks of the decade. He's not just a matchup problem, he's a game plan problem. He doesn't fit inside your depth chart, he breaks it. And in a league where innovation is everything, where coaching staffs dream of hybrid roles and disguise, Travis Hunter is a cheat code, a football myth come to life. The NFL has never seen a player like him in the modern era, and now they have to figure out how to stop him. Chapter 2, Jacksonville's new identity, built around versatility. The Jacksonville Jaguars didn't draft Travis Hunter to be exciting. They didn't draft him to sell jerseys or create social media buzz. They drafted him because they were done waiting, done hoping, done being a team with promise but no punctuation. And in Hunter, they didn't just find a player, they found an identity. Because while other teams are still figuring out who they are, the Jaguars just defined themselves with one draft pick. Fast, fearless, and unpredictable. This is no longer a rebuilding project. This is a movement. Trevor Lawrence is entering his prime. He's grown from a top prospect into a field general, commanding, composed, and itching for that next level. The receiving core is deep. Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones form a trio that can stretch any defense. The offensive line is solid. The defense is opportunistic, but what they lacked was chaos. A player who forces opposing coordinators to circle his name in red ink. A player who creates ripple effects before the ball is even snapped. That's Travis Hunter. On defense, he'll likely start at outside corner, tasked with tracking the AFC's best. Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs. It doesn't matter. Hunter's instincts are too sharp, his hips too fluid, his drive too relentless. His presence gives defenders defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen a luxury most coaches dream about: the ability to play man coverage with confidence, to disguise zone behind a press look, to mix nickel packages that make quarterbacks hesitate. And hesitation in the NFL, that's death. But it doesn't stop there. Because Doug Pederson is an artist when it comes to using hybrid weapons, and Hunter will line up on offense. You'll see it in key moments, 3rd and long inside the red zone in the 2-minute drill. He'll line up in the slot, motion out of the backfield, run seams and posts, maybe even return kicks if the moment calls for it. Jacksonville's playbook didn't just expand, it evolved. With Hunter, they're positionless, unpredictable, lethal. Chapter 3, creating chaos for opponents. Travis Hunter doesn't just make plays, he changes how the game is played. Every week, defensive coordinators and offensive minds will be forced to spend extra hours building custom game plans. Not for the Jaguars, but for him, because no one really knows how to handle a player like this. He's not a decoy, he's not a gadget, he's a full-blown problem. He plays defense like a shadow and offense like a storm, and that duality is what makes him uncontainable. Let's say he plays 60 defensive snaps in a game. You scheme around that, but then he jogs onto the field for a red zone package. Suddenly your nickel corner is tired, your safety hesitates. Is he going deep? Is he drawing coverage to open up Kirk underneath? Is he going to motion, shift into a jet sweep, or throw a block to spring Ridley? You can't prepare for that in film. You can't drill it into muscle memory. You have to react, and reacting to Travis Hunter, that's already losing. He warps coverages, he bends playbooks. And perhaps most dangerous of all, he forces mistakes. Not just from rookies or fringe players, but from veterans. You'll see it. Corners out of position, safeties cheating down, linebackers pulled into space they can't defend. And on defense, the effect is equally disruptive. Quarterbacks will try to avoid him. That funnels the ball into the middle, into the hands of Jaguars linebackers, into tip drills and turnovers, into momentum-changing moments that don't show up in Hunter's stat sheet, but started with him. Because that's the thing, he doesn't need numbers to matter. His impact is atmospheric, strategic, psychological. He's not just a player who racks up yards and interceptions. He's a player who breaks plans, shatters rhythm, and forces offenses and defenses alike into reactive mode. And in the NFL, where every inch is earned, that kind of chaos is priceless. Chapter 4, The Mental Edge, Grit over Glamour. What makes Travis Hunter truly different isn't just his speed or hands or freakish ability to log 100+ snaps in a single game. It's the why behind it. This isn't about attention. This isn't about legacy or endorsement deals or draft night hype. This is about obsession, about love for the game, about grit so raw and real it bleeds through the tape. Because Hunter isn't just talented, he's driven, and that drive is what elevates him from special to dangerous. At Colorado, he could have coasted. He could have played just cornerback and still gone top 10. He could have preserved his body, protected his future, but he chose something harder. He played both ways. He took hits from running backs and delivered them to receivers. He lined up play after play with no complaint, no ego, no excuse. He wanted the smoke, every snap, every representative. That's not marketing, that's mindset. In Jacksonville, that mentality is going to fit perfectly because this locker room isn't built on flash. It's built on fight. Trevor Lawrence doesn't scream in cameras. He works. Doug Pederson doesn't scheme for style. He schemes for wins. And Travis Hunter is walking into that system not as a savior, but as a soldier. He knows what's expected. He welcomes it. And when the moment gets heavy, when the game is on the line, don't be surprised when he steps forward and says, "Put it on me." He wants the matchup with the alpha wideout. He wants the deep shot when the corner is leaning inside. He wants the fourth quarter, the red zone, the blitz pickup, the isolation route. Because greatness doesn't avoid pressure, it devours it. And Travis Hunter, he's starving. Chapter 5. What a historic season could look like. Let's dream for a second, not in hyperbole, but in data, in actual measurable impact. Let's say Hunter plays 60% of defensive snaps and 20% on offense. A reasonable workload that still protects his body. That alone could get him 3 or more interceptions, 10 pass deflections, maybe a pick 6. On offense, 50 receptions, over 600 yards, 5 total touchdowns across receiving, rushing, and maybe even special teams. That's not just impressive, that's historic. Those are numbers that scream all-pro, numbers that would put him in the conversation, not just for Rookie of the Year, but for the most impactful player in the league, not named Patrick Mahomes. Because if Travis Hunter pulls this off, he won't just be unique, he'll be unprecedented. Deion Sanders did it, Charles Woodson flirted with it, but no one in the modern NFL has done it like this. Not at this volume, not at this level, not in this era of specialization. He could be a weekly SportsCenter highlight, a fantasy football cheat code, a Madden cover star by next summer. But beyond the stats and flash, he could become something even rarer, inspirational. Young athletes will see him and realize they don't have to choose. They don't have to limit themselves to one side of the ball, one role, one path. They can do it all if they have the fire. So what does Travis Hunter mean to the Jaguars? He means everything. He means explosion, disruption, belief. He means that when the Jaguars take the field in 2025, they won't just be a young rising team, they'll be must-watch. Because Travis Hunter isn't here to follow tradition. He's here to change it forever. If you believe Travis Hunter is about to change the NFL forever, if you felt the spark, the energy, the storm that's coming, then do what real fans do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown like this. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Is Travis Hunter the most exciting rookie in decades? Can he really become a true two-way legend in today's game? Or do you see someone else making history in 2025? Because this channel isn't just about highlights, it's about moments that matter. It's about the players who don't just play football, they redefine it. And if Travis Hunter is the future, we'll be here to cover every snap, every pick, every catch. Welcome to the new era. Strap in, subscribe, and get ready. Because Travis Hunter isn't just a player, he's a revolution.